welcome back to another workout. I'm Mel and this is Total Package Pilates and Wellness if you're new to the channel, or welcome back if you've worked out with me before. Today's focus is all on foundations. I want you to have the right cues, the understanding of form and muscle activation and what that feels like in your own body so that you can get the most out of all of the workouts on my channel, or in fact any workouts that you do with other instructors, whether it be virtual or in the studio. So if you're ready, join me. We're going to be using 3 to 5 pound dumbbells, or you can grab water bottles, cans, whatever you have on hand, or you can just do the motions to feel it in your body. Let's roll out our mat and we'll get started lying all the way down. So come lying down on your mat, and I want you to just sink into your body here. Go ahead and reach your fingertips away from the crown of your head so that your shoulders drop down your back. And let's just get in touch with the natural curves of our spine here. So I don't want you to feel like you're overarching and we're not imprinting our spine just yet. That would mean that we're smashing the natural curves of our low back into the mat. We should have basically both butt cheeks weighted evenly on the mat. Notice any differences there. You should have your tailbone in contact. I want you to travel up your body, so notice if there's maybe a little more space on one side of your ribs than the other. Both shoulders are weighted down on the mat, the back of your head, and then traveling all the way down. Notice if there's a difference in terms of the weight on one leg versus the other. If one leg feels longer right now than the other, it's very possible. And from here, we're just going to reach our arms up in line with our shoulders, and again, plug those shoulders down into the mat so that we're not fully like reaching and lifting those shoulders off. We're going to take a deep inhale. And when you do that, let it be 360 degrees and exhale through your mouth. Let all the air out. We like to use something called a ha breath in Pilates. You can also think about blowing through a straw, but what we're trying to activate every time we're exhaling is that deep core connection in your low transverse abdominals. So you can think about that sensation as a coughing sensation. You can feel your abs kick in when you do that, or if you think about like blowing up a balloon with air, that's also really helpful. So pick one that works for you, whether it's ha or that, hopefully not coughing every time, but blowing through a straw. And then from here, take one more inhale. This time as you exhale, we're gonna start to reach for our toes, not our chin to our chest. I want you to press your back ribs into the mat and start to imprint that low back. So you are finding a slight tug of your pelvis as you slowly, with control, articulate, peel your spine up off the mat until you're in a tall seated position. You can always have a micro bend to your knees in order to get stacked ribs over hips. So we're not in a tuck. I want you to really find, if your hip bones were like a bowl of water, we wouldn't be spilling it towards us and we wouldn't be spilling it down the front of us. They're just even pointing forward. From here, we're gonna start to tuck that pelvis. So I want you to articulate every single vertebra down to the mat as slowly as you can. Your arms are still reaching forward, but your abs are really engaged. Your ribs are pulling into the center of your body as you peel yourself back down, and just pause with your arms over your shoulders. Now, if you struggle with roll-ups, there's a few options here for you. The next time we're rolling up, you can always reach for the sides of your thighs, for your mat. You can even bend your knees and kind of grab behind your thighs if you need that assistance to begin. But some of the cues to think about is really focusing on that exhale breath and turning this into an ab exercise. It is spinal mobility, and we all have sticky spots. We're rolling back down, by the way, if you're not glancing at your camera or your screen right now. but it's important to actually get in touch with the muscles we want to use and having the proper form. So from here, as we're nodding back up, I want you to plant those heels really hard into your mat to help you anchor your body. Then again, exhale, squeeze your abs on, contract your abs, pull your ribs into the center of your body, and then as you're nodding and rolling up, rounding up, you're pressing those ribs into the mat because you're driving your arms down in towards your spine. And then we sit up nice and tall. So pause here. We're gonna go ahead and get into an ab series in a moment, but I want you to come on all fours. We're gonna work a little more spinal mobility just to warm up the body before we begin, and also talk about some important form pieces here. So come into all fours, make sure your knees are right below your hips and your palms are right below your shoulders. I want you to spread your fingers wide and press your hands into the mat, hollow out your chest. I want you to feel how that helps you activate through your upper back. Really important as we work through some of these positions. So go ahead and exhale, press into the mat, really stretch through that thoracic spine, activate through your chest, through your back. And then inhale, arch, open, draw those shoulders again down your back just like we did when we were lying down on the mat. Drawing those shoulder blades down the back and together. And then exhale, spread the shoulder blades, spread apart and away from the center of your spine. And one more inhale, arch, and just come into your neutral spine here. We're gonna send both of our feet back, tucking the toes under into a full plank position, and just revisiting, making sure that we're really strong in our upper body anytime that we're in a plank. So from here, I want you to think you're tucking your tailbone under just slightly so that your glutes are nice and active and you're supporting your low back here. Draw your abs in and up towards your spine, and you should be in one nice long line. Press back through your heels so that the entire back of your legs are active and supporting you in your plank. It's so much more than just an abdominal core focused exercise. It's a full body exercise. From here, we're gonna send our hips back into a down dog, and your heels can draw down towards your mat. Really reach and press up out of your shoulders as you try to close the gap between your chest and your thighs, and then we'll start to pedal out one knee at a time, stretching through those hamstrings, warming up the body. Good. We'll give it 3, 2, 1 more each side, even yourself out. Now come through center, both heels draw down. Now pause, you can walk your toes forward an inch or 2 if you need to. I want you to send your left leg up toward the ceiling just as much as you can. So this is going to be different for everyone based on flexibility. But pausing here and starting to flex and point through both of your feet, feeling how that stretches the back of your right leg a little bit deeper. And then we're gonna bend that left knee in toward our chest and bring it out to the side of our left hand. And we'll just rock and press back and forth. Feeling that stretch through the groin, through the hips. And then pause in stillness. I want you to exhale, reach your left arm up toward the ceiling. You'll inhale, drive that left palm up toward right shoulder. Twisting under, exhale, reach, inhale, twist, 1 more, exhale, reach, inhale, twist. Now set that left palm down, find your ground. We're gonna step that left foot back, take 1 more down dog through center, and float those right toes up. That leg is as straight as you can make it. One of the keys to getting your legs as straight as possible is squeezing your quad muscle. So a lot of times people struggle with tight hamstrings, but a big component of that is they're not squeezing their quad, and that will help you to straighten your legs in any exercise. So from here, we bend that right knee in, we walk it out to the side of our right hand, and we just deepen the stretch through our groin. as we finish up our warm-up before we get into some deep core. From here, I want you to reach that right arm up, exhale, and then you inhale, thread it under the left, reaching for that left shoulder. Again, exhale, reach for the sky, and then inhale, thread. One more. Exhale, reach. Inhale, thread. Good. Set that right palm down, find your ground here, squeeze your core, send that right foot back. One last down dog stretch, trying to close that gap. One last time between chest and thighs, stretch for the hamstrings. And then we'll ripple and roll our toes forward, and we'll sink our hips down. Legs are apart, untuck the toes, press up out of your shoulders, and take that final extension here of our warm-up. Press back into a child's pose, reach your arms long, and then you'll spin around and sit on your booty, and we'll get into those abs. So, glide all the way down onto your mat, and again, knees will stay bent, feet will stay planted to begin. We're going to interlace our hands and bring them behind our head, elbows are wide, and you can have your thumbs long, tractioning down your neck to help you continue to lengthen through your spine, but I want you to first think about your head being really heavy in your hands so that we're not pulling the neck and head. We're going to lift from the abs. Take a deep inhale here, 360 degrees. As you exhale, I want you to first draw your hips towards your ribs, imprinting that low back into the mat. Lift up to the tips of your shoulder blades, and then inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Just doing this for 6. Nice and slow with control for 5. Every time you're lifting, I want you to really hold for a pause so that you feel that connection in your abs. This is 4. 3. Make sure those ribs continue to draw into the center of your body. I like to even put my hand on my rib cage and slide it together into the center just to help my body understand that corseting sensation. In 1, I want you to hold lifted. So hold lifted here. Left leg to table, right leg to table. Let's check in. Make sure your knees are right over your hips. Lower your head. Inhale, exhale, lift. We'll do 6 like this. And then we're going to add on some movement of the legs. Really exhale, lift. And you'll notice once your feet are in the air at tabletop, you can't necessarily use them as leverage to lift as high. So don't start yanking on that neck. Make sure you're just lifting from that core. We're going to leave lifted in 2. On 1, I want you to hold lifted. So, that sensation of your hips pulling towards your ribs, keep that. Think about how that's your low abs, making that contraction happen. We're going to tap the shape of our right leg. It does not change down toward the mat. I want you to feel your low abs pulling in opposition as the weight of your leg heads down toward the mat, and then your low abs pulling that leg back up. When you use your big exhale breath, lower your head. Inhale. We'll do the left. Lift. Left leg starts to lower. Pull in opposition. Squeeze those low abs. Exhale, draw it up. Inhale, lower. We'll do another 6. Keeping those elbows wide. Lifting from those top abs and resisting the pull and the weight of your leg from those low abs, and then using those low abs to reel it back up. This is 4. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift for 3. We're going to start to work on some rotation with these toe taps. In 2. The more you think about working that opposition with those low abs, the deeper you're going to feel it. 1. Now we're gonna lift. As the right leg goes, I want you to twist armpit toward knee, right shoulder's coming up off the mat. We're twisting to the left. And then we're gonna exhale, draw it all into center, lower the head and chest. So we're gonna lift. We're gonna twist to the right. Again, thinking opposite ribs towards hips, and then exhale as the leg pulls to center, or pulls up. We come through center with the chest. A lot of words. Lift. Twist to the left, right toes tapping down. Exhale, draw everything in. This is working that cross chain oblique sling. So as you think about like the muscles of your core, you have your deep internal obliques, your external obliques, your rectus on top, your low transverse abdominals. We're working everything with this motion here. We're gonna do 2 more each side. Inhale, lower. Exhale. So a lot of times people are focused on bringing like elbow to knee. I want you to really think that this twist is coming from your rib cage. It's tiny. It's always tinier than you think. That will actually work the abs a lot more instead of just twisting the spine. One last time. Take it to the right. Lower. Now pause. I want you to straighten your legs as straight as you can. Your hands can come to your sides or directly under your butt if you need that support. Imprint that low spine. So right now your tailbone is slightly lifted off the mat. I want it to stay that way. How straight can you get these legs for me? Squeeze your quad muscle as if you were trying to like do a lunge. We're gonna send the straight right leg down, down, down toward the mat. We're gonna pause at center, tap it out to the side, feel your oblique working, tap it back to center, pull all the way up, exhale. Inhale, slow, resist the weight of that left leg with these low abs because you're maintaining the imprint of your spine. Don't let that stomach pooch though. Keep it nice and connected. Good. Left leg. Down. Side. Back to the center. Pull it up. We'll do 3 more each side. And then we're going to get into some bridging, some upper body. We can get really connected and a lot of work out of basic movement if we're using the body in the correct way, the muscles that we want to engage. We're not just dropping the leg down and flopping it with momentum. And we're not just working the mobility of the pelvis and the hip girdle, moving the legs up and down. We are using our abs. Our abs are releasing that leg down with control. Our abs are taking it to the side, to the center, pulling it up. 1 more on the right. One more on the left. And up, bend in, set your feet down. I want your heels to be about a fingertips distance from your butt right now. And then again, reach those fingertips away from your head so that your shoulders glide down the back. Press those shoulder blades into the mat. We're going to start to tuck our pelvis and articulate all the way up into a bridge, pausing at the top. I want you to check in here. There should be a long line from your sternum, it's that breastbone area, up through your pubic bone, through your knees. So that's kind of how you find your good bridge point. I don't want you flaring open at the rib cage. Ribs are down, they're heavy, abs are on. And then we have that little extra tuck and scoop of our pelvis. We're gonna tap straight down to the mat with the tailbone. So we're releasing that tuck, tapping down with control, and then drive your hips all the way up, finding that extra little tuck and scoop of the glutes at the top. so that they're really active there. Now some things to consider as you're moving through your bridge. We're just going to start to flow up and down. I want you to think about your form cues. Exhale up, abs on, ribs down and heavy. Inhale, tap down with control. If you're feeling this too much in your hamstrings, walk your heels in towards your glutes a little further. And if you're feeling too much in your knees or your quads, you actually want to just step out an inch or two with those feet. We like to think about pressing through our heels to find that glute heel connection in our hamstrings as we're working through our bridge. Let's go for 5, and then we're going to start to add on here. 4. Every time you do a bridge, don't just move up and down. Pause at the top. Give your body a chance to let your glutes feel the work in that bridge. Let them squeeze. This is 3. Sometimes we're moving so fast through exercises, our body doesn't even have time to really acknowledge the work. 2. On 1, we're going to hold lifted. So pause at the top, check in. Do you have the heavy ribs that are down, ribs connected, abs on, glutes are squeezing. We're going to lift both heels. So from here, I want you to place your hands on your hips. As you plant your heels down, we're not going to lower the hips. I want those hips to almost lift up a little extra ½ inch in opposition. So lift your heels, plant them down, keep those hips at least where they are, if not that little extra inch higher. Good. So every time you plant those heels down with intention, squeeze your glutes even harder. You should really feel how that helps you activate and find the work at the base of your glute where it meets your leg. Good. We have 8, 7, working that opposition. 6, 5, make sure those ribs stay down and heavy. 4, we're gonna leave those heels lifted in 3, in 2, in 1, heels stay lifted. We're just gonna lower halfway, releasing the glutes, and lift all the way up, squeeze. Lower halfway, lift all the way up. We're gonna add a flare out of our knees. So lift all the way up, flare out with those knees. Feel those outer hips and glutes activate. Bring those knees back in line with your hips. Lower halfway. We have 8. 7. Pressing down through the ball of the foot as much as the pinky side of the toe. Good. Give me another 5. We hold lifted and pulse in 4. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're really planted down on the mat and also not creeping up into your ears. Relax your jaw. Give me 2. Give me 1 and hold. Just work the knees in, out. Pull in, feel the inner thighs. Press out, feel the outer thighs. Good. Abductors and adductors. Let's go for 10. We'll rest in 9. Taking it slow. Checking in with that body. All the form cues still very important. Give me 3. Squeeze. 2, squeeze like you're trying to squeeze something between those inner thighs. 1, lower the heels, roll all the way down, 1 vertebra at a time. Take a big stretch, arms overhead, legs are long. We're gonna do a roll up. Let's see if you can get a little more control in this roll up now that we're super active throughout our entire body. And then reach forward for those toes. Let's talk about upper body work. So, you're just gonna need one of your weights to start. We're gonna get into like delts and shoulder work. And this is one of my favorite ways to do this. So we're just gonna start in a side lying position on our forearm, on our left side. I want your left elbow directly under that left shoulder. I want you lifted in your oblique. And then you're just gonna bring the weight into your right hand, basically in front of your left fingertips. And we're just gonna start with a little delt fly here. Now you're gonna lift up, you're keeping the shape of that right arm. Pretend that arm is in a cast. The shape of that arm is not gonna change. We tap the weight down. Exhale, lift, fly. Inhale, lower with control. Now, again, it's not because we're like bending and changing the shape of our arm. We're lifting because we are wrapping the shoulder blade around the rib cage. Think you're wrapping that shoulder blade on the right side in toward the center of your spine, in toward that left shoulder blade. You should feel the work a lot more effectively when you think about it that way. We're here for another 10. Stay lifted, stay pressing up and out of this left shoulder for 9. Exhale, lift. Chest is slightly angled down towards your left palm. And your gaze is just toward the top of your mat. We have 6. 5. Lowering with so much control, not just letting that weight pull you down with momentum. Give me 3. Give me 2. On 1, I want you to hold open, little pulse back. Back. Feel that shoulder. Squeeze in toward the center of your spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. Good, roll out that shoulder. Let's take it to the other side. Hopefully you felt that. I'm not sure what weight you were using. I'm using 5s. I feel like 5s to 7s are more than ample for this type of accessory postural muscle work. You don't want to go too heavy because then you start to get into your traps. We don't want that. No one needs overdeveloped traps, right? So from here, form cues. We want our right elbow directly under that right shoulder. We're pressing up and out of it, and we're also lifting on this right side of our oblique. Left hand just comes in line with those right fingertips. Gaze down toward the top of your mat. Start to lift the shape of that arm. Generous bend in that left elbow. Tap down with control. Lift. Rotate that shoulder around that rib cage. Good. We'll do 10. I want you to feel how the weight, as you control the descent back down to the mat, you have to use your core to stay nice and lifted on that side so you're not like collapsing and dumping here. This is what helps you keep active in the right muscles as you're doing this exercise. Good. Let's go for another 6. And then we'll get into some tricep work here. In 5. Lowering with control, staying lifted up out of that shoulder. 4. We'll find those pulses in 3. 2. Big inhale, exhale, lift, pulse back, squeeze, tiny. Good, yes, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. Let's grab both weights now. We're gonna come into a kneeling position. So important things to think about when we're in this type of what we call like chest out, tail out position, to really focus on the back of the arm and also the back of the shoulders. I want you to think your collarbone is nice and wide, your shoulders are back and open, and there's a long line from the crown of your head down through your tailbone. So if I were to put like a long foam roller on your back, it would sit, in that nice little vertical line. We're gonna grab our weights, again, roll those shoulders down, palms are flipped in to face your body. From here, we're just gonna start by pressing back, pinkies toward the ceiling, keeping a long line of our wrists. I don't want you breaking at your wrists. You press back and control the return down. Press it back, hold for a pause, squeeze the back of the arm. And your gaze is just down and forward to make sure that your neck stays in line with your spine. Squeeze those abs on. Make sure that rib cage is not flaring open. We'll do another 5, and then we're gonna hold it back. In 4. We're gonna start to find a little tricep, bend and press. In 3. Again, pinkies toward the sky. On 1, hold it back. Bend at your elbows, keep them in by your sides. Extend. Bend, extend. You can always press your heels together to help create more of a base of support. If that's helpful for you, squeeze your butt. Good. We're here for 8, 7. Squeeze those triceps for 6. We hold back for pulses. In 5, 4. Are you losing that long line? Is your chest staying open? Don't collapse forward. 3. Hold it back and palms toward the sky. In 2. Hold back on 1, palms toward the sky, pulse up, up, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Roll out those shoulders. Let's finish out here with some more good plank work. It wouldn't be a good Pilates session without some plank work, because you'll find this in so many of the different flows that you come across. So we're gonna go into a full plank on our palms. If your wrists are ever an issue as you're doing plank work, you can roll your mat over and then what we call kitten heel your wrist. It will decrease the amount of flexion in the wrist. So you would put kind of your rolled up mat under the meaty part of your palm. Your fingers would touch the floor. And you'll find that a lot of times that alleviates whatever wrist issue and pressure you're experiencing when you're doing a plank on your hands. So send your left leg back long. Make sure those hips are nice and squared off. Abs drawing in and up. Right leg back, press back through your heels, press into your palms, hollow out your chest. We're gonna start with mountain climbers. So, similar to when we were warming up, I want you to draw the right knee in toward your nose and send it back out. Left leg, in and out. I guess it's more in towards your chest. In towards your nose would be if we're piking. Which, spoiler alert, we will get into a little bit of piking. But as you pull the knee forward, I don't want you to like arch through your back just yet. We're not doing that. And we're also trying not to lose that good long line of our plank. So don't let your hips lift. Good. We're gonna leave it with the right knee in another 4, 3, stay active in that upper back for me, 2, 1, right knee in, hold, it's hovering just off the mat. Now we lift the hips, we're piking from those low abs. I want you to think you're folding at your belly button, exhale pike. Good, we'll do 6, 5, let's take it to the left, and 4, 3, 2, 1, send that right foot back, left leg in, pike up for 8, 7, If you need to tap that knee down in between pikes, you can. This is 5. 4, use your breath. Power through for 3, 2, plank hold to finish in 1. Go ahead and send those toes back, come down onto your forearms. Make sure that your elbows are right under your shoulders. Scoop that core, tuck that pelvis, press back through those heels. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those knees down. Take a child's pose. And one last thing that we're gonna do is just finish with some basic, very quick standing work. So grab both of your weights, or you can do this with no weights. But just to continue on the thread of proper form, chest out, tail out. A lot of times when we're doing lunge positions, let's start with our right foot forward and send those left toes back. And I want you to first make sure that the right knee is tracking in line with the front of your ankle, so it's not coming way forward in front of the right toes. We're gonna go ahead and keep the arms long, shoulders roll down and back. We're just gonna drop down into this 90-90 lunge. You have that slight forward hinge of your torso, and press up, press through your right heel and glute. Good. Press up through that right heel and glute, drop down. Your knee certainly does not have to tap the mat. I care more that you're actually activating in that right glute, and that's why that forward hinge tends to help. It's gonna take it out of the quad and allow you to focus the exercise where you want it. Of course, if you're trying to work your quads, you certainly can come upright. That will be a completely different weight experience in your body. Try not to lose your balance. We'll do another 5. We'll do 4. Weights will come to our chest in 3, 2, 1. Lengthen through that back leg. You still have that bend in your right knee. I want you to hold, weights come into your chest. We're just gonna twist and gaze toward the wall to the right, and then really press into that big toe of your right foot as you come back to center. Stay here, rotate to the right. Press into your big toe to come back to center. That will help you stabilize. Use your breath, exhale. We just had another 6, and then we'll go to the left side. Inhale, twist, exhale, back to center, press into that big toe. Inner thighs are working here. You have another 3. Long line, make sure that chest is open, shoulders not creeping into ears. Give me 1 more. Arms are long, step forward. Step those right toes back. Let's get set up. Again, long line, abs are in. That knee, it's right in front of that ankle. Roll those shoulders down your back. Start to find that 90-90. Press into the heel of that left foot to stand. Good. I like to think, again, always, if someone had a foam roller on my back from the crown of my head through my tailbone, would it be in that long line? So I'm not rounding forward. My chest is proud and open. The weights are nice because they're helping to pull your shoulders out of your ears. Sometimes when we're getting tense, working other muscles, lower body muscles, those shoulders can creep up. Let's do 5. In 4, we're gonna find that rotation, and you might notice a difference in your balance side to side. 1, good. Lengthen through that right leg. Bring those weights into your chest. We open, we gaze toward the wall to our left. We press into the big toe of that left foot to come back to center. Inhale, exhale, squeeze your core on. Good. Can you give me another 6? Finding that balance. Think your inner thighs pull into the center of your body. Woo. Give me 2. Give me 1. Step it forward, set those weights down. And let's do a quick cool down here. Feet come wide on the mat. We're gonna circle our arms down as we bend our knees. Reach up toward the ceiling, interlace your fingers, press your palms up toward the ceiling. Let those arms sweep down one more time. Big bend through those knees, up. Press the palms away and up toward the ceiling. And then unlock those fingers, dive your fingertips down toward the mat. Walk your hands out into a down dog, pedal out through your knees. Stretch your hamstrings. Lengthen through your back. Press both heels down to the mat. Try to close that gap. And see if you feel a little more loose or tight, depending. It's good to take stock of how you feel though after any workout that you're doing. Does your body feel painful? Does it feel energized? And then ripple and roll yourself forward. You're on your toes. And then drop that pelvis down. Untuck those toes, press up and out of those shoulders, and we'll take a little rotation. So we'll look over that left shoulder toward our heels. Come through center, look over that right shoulder. Left shoulder comes forward. Do one more each side. And then press back into a child's pose. Really stretch those fingertips away. Stretch through the lats. And then we'll quickly stretch through our upper body. So I want you to focus on stretching through your forearms. We don't get a lot of that. So we're going to go ahead and reach our palms up toward the ceiling and then press our fingertips down toward the mat. And then we're going to open those arms out to the side. We're going to bring it back to center, keeping those fingertips down, stretching, feeling the change in those forearms. Now we're going to keep them out to the side. We're going to bicep curl our fingers in towards our shoulders. Open it out, flip the palms away from you, fingertips down. How much can you get those fingertips down? Bring those arms in, bicep curl one last time, fingertips down. One last time, fingertips in, and just roll those shoulders, really generous. This should feel good. There's no right or wrong. We're just rolling them up, around, and back. And then we're gonna reverse. Forward and back for 3, for 2, for 1. Last thing, we're gonna bring our left forearm down. We're gonna stretch out our obliques, reaching that right arm in front of your nose. So think it stays rotated in front of your nose instead of like back behind your head. This is better for your shoulder health. And then press through your left palm, re-stack. One more big side bend, stretch through that right side gaze, and just look toward the left side of your mat. We'll press ourselves up, right forearm down. We'll reach overhead, stretch that left side. Press into your right palm, re-stack nice and tall. One last big side bend over. Inhale. And then you are all finished for today. I hope this foundations class was helpful and that you can take this information into a future workout with me or any other instructor as you continue your Pilates evolution. Thank you so much for joining me today.